war in Murtana ended 2 long years ago, and its people have been struggling with an uneasy peace. The land has split, 4 factions emerging within the territory, each bent on rebuilding what was lost and making best with what little remains. To the south, Thoris unified the wandering bands of orcs into a volatile nation of warriors, still resentful of those that denied them victory. To the north, Gorn commands Gotha and Faring, standing guard with careful disdain over Thoris and the rapidly swelling orc war machine. Weary of an eventual attack, Gorn can wait no longer. An assault is launched and the war breaks out. To the west, tired of conflict, the brothers Enog and Anog hold the people of those lands together in fragile peace, trying to ignore the danger of war from both Gotha and Trellis, and pick up the fragments of their shattered lives. To the east, Lee segregates his people from the bubbling cauldron of political unrest, convinced that men will eventually tire of war and that peace will prevail. From an unknown dimension, the nameless hero and Zardus watch their former companions and argue bitterly about the decisions and directions being taken by each as they attempt to secure freedom for their people in this time of unrest. Mirroring the events that grip Murtana, the two begin to argue violently about the fate of the land both men have struggled over for so long. Zardus's position sides with Lee. Men will eventually tire of war, and peace will prevail. Enraged, the hero disagrees, arguing that a peace between Thoris and Gorn must be forced if there's to be any at all. Infuriated that the peace he sacrificed his very freedom for could be squandered, the nameless hero flies into an uncontrollable rage, intent on returning to Murtana and righting the wrongs that afflict his people. Learning of his intention, Zardus bars the hero's path, beseeching him to hold his ground and listen to reason. But there is nothing that can be said or done to sway destiny. Both men, masters of ancient forces and skilled in the art of war, draw on powers that would tear normal men apart. The battle that follows, an untold legend in its own right, is brief, and the nameless hero walks away, but at a grave and terrible cost. Weak, beaten and confused, the nameless hero awakens.
So, have you come back to see the mess you left behind?
I left no mess behind. I left you all with a chance, an opportunity to work towards a Murtana that knows peace. None of you took that chance, and now look at what's happening.
Well, it's your friends who have been making trouble.
That is no reason for you to sit down and do nothing while our land is drenched with the blood of our fellow men. It seems the gods weren't the reason for all our fighting after all. You people only live for your own selfish aims and will think nothing of spilling a little blood to fulfill them. I've returned to put an end to all of this. Now, how much time have I lost? How long have I been sleeping?
On the way to Geldern, one of our caravans found you battered and half dead. Obviously an orc attack. You've been out for about a week since we found you.
Where's my equipment?
I'm certain you'll find it with the orcs.
Orcs? Are you sure?
Yes, the whole atmosphere is tense. My people live in fear of orcs. They've started brutally attacking our caravans. Merchants dead and material lost. I get such reports almost every day.
Your people? What do you mean?
After you left Murtana, my brother and I became caretakers of Geldern and Silden. Inog looks after Geldern, and I look after Silden.
Why do they attack your caravans?
Trellis and Gotha are at war, and orcs are not in the habit of paying for anything.
Why don't you retaliate?
That is not an option. The people of Murtana have seen too much of war to be a part of it again. We decided to keep Geldern and Silden out of the war.